Okay, so the AI revolution, it's given creators, well, incredible power. Beat. But getting access to that power often means paying up a lot. We're seeing folks spend $100, maybe $200 every month just for the basic tools, Midjourney, 11 Labs, ChatGPT Plus, the essentials. But then Google comes along. And they've released some seriously powerful AI, stuff that feels enterprise level. We're talking advanced image tools, custom AI agents, deep research capabilities. And here's the kicker, completely free. So this deep dive, it's about taking that free arsenal from Google and making it your secret weapon, your competitive advantage.
Welcome to the deep dive. Yeah, today we're cracking open Google's, let's call it, cost-effective strategy. Pretty interesting. We'll look at the main free tools they're offering, Gemini 2.5's image stuff, Notebook LM, and these things called gems. But the really crucial part, we're going to give you 6 strategic ways to actually combine these tools, make them work together. This really is about competing on your ideas, not just how much money you can throw at subscriptions.
Yeah. Okay, let's really unpack that financial side first. It's a real hurdle, this cost crisis in AI, as we're calling it. For anyone starting out, a small business, a creator, those monthly bills, they stack up really, really fast, painfully fast.
Oh, they absolutely do. You want good images, right? Professional-looking stuff. That's usually going to run you, $10 to maybe $60 a month, depending on the platform. Then video tools. Essential for social media these days. They often start around $12, but boy, they climb quickly from there.
And voice generation. If you need clean narration, maybe for training videos or audio articles, you're easily looking at $20 to $50 a month for the really high-quality output. Then add another $20 for your premium chatbot, like a ChatGPT Plus or Pro version.
It's just a huge barrier to entry, seriously. A basic, kind of modest AI toolkit. Easily $100, maybe even $200 a month. And that's money that frankly could be going towards other essentials, like your website hosting or actual marketing spend. It's a massive weight for new creators right off the bat.
And it's not just the money, is it? There's also this subscription fatigue. It's a real thing, just the mental energy of tracking all those different accounts, managing billing, learning different interfaces. It's a distraction. So Google rolling out these free alternatives, it removes that decision paralysis. You can just try things. Experiment, integrate them into your workflow, build stuff without constantly worrying about the budget blowing up.
Right. So putting aside the obvious cost savings for a second, what would you say is the biggest functional benefit of these free tools, especially for someone just starting out?
I'd say they remove that decision paralysis. They let you experiment fast, try things for free, and figure out your workflow without the financial pressure.
Yeah, that freedom to experiment is huge.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into the visual side first. Google's offering some pretty professional-grade free image editing now. It's part of the Gemini 2.5 Flash image model. You access it through the Google AI Studio. We'll just call it Gemini Image for simplicity. Though, yeah, internally, it apparently had a very curious code name for a while.
Softly. A very curious code name. But the results aren't curious, they're actually quite polished. Let's talk about one specific feature, the outpainting fix. What is that?
Oh, this is fantastic. Seriously practical. Let's say you have a great photo, maybe a portrait, but it's vertical. And you desperately need it as a horizontal banner, 16.9 aspect ratio for a website or YouTube. You just upload that vertical image to the free Gemini image tool. Then you prompt it something like, expand the canvas. Reconstruct a realistic beach, sea, and sky to fill the new space. And the AI just does it. It fills in the missing background seamlessly, keeps the perspective right. It doesn't mess up the faces or the pose. The whole thing looks photographically coherent. It's impressive. Or think about e-commerce. You've got a basic product photo, maybe on a white background, a PNG file. You can upload that and tell the AI, place this exact product in a high-end professional studio setting, add realistic rim lighting and soft shadows, and boom, you get studio-quality shots. That kind of capability can save you thousands on actual photography setups.
Wow. Okay, so that gives you the raw power to create and modify images. But what about consistency, especially for branding? That's where another tool comes in, right? Gemini Gems. You mentioned these. Tell us about Gems.
Exactly. Gems are the key to consistency and efficiency for repetitive tasks. Think of Gems as personalized AI agents. You train them on your specific needs, your style, your tone, or crucially for businesses, your actual products. They get optimized for those recurring jobs. And honestly, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes. It happens.
Okay, hang on. Prompt drift, what exactly is that?
Prompt drift. It's when you start generating things with an AI, maybe a few images or some text. And after a few tries, the AI kind of forgets your original core instructions or your brand guidelines. It just starts wandering off. The results become inconsistent. It's frustrating. Gems are designed to solve exactly that, They use something called the knowledge field. This is where you upload your reference materials, your brand style guide, reference images of your product, technical specs, whatever. You put it right into that knowledge field for that specific gem. And the AI agent, it checks those documents every single time it generates something for you.
Okay, the integration there sounds powerful. So it's not just about making one image consistent. It sounds like it enables scale. How does that knowledge field really impact a business trying to produce a lot of content?
It enables massive scalability, yeah, because it locks in the critical details, the product's shape, color, proportions. So you can generate maybe 1,000 different images or variations, and they all stick to the brand guidelines without you needing to manually check every single one. That's huge.
All right, let's shift gears a bit from creating visuals to research and learning. Let's talk about Notebook LM. You mentioned this isn't like a regular chatbot browsing the whole web. It's more specialized.
That's right. It's a specialized AI research assistant. Very different. Its whole purpose is to talk only to the documents you provide.
Oh.
You create a notebook, and you fill it with your source materials, PDFs, Google Docs, articles from the web, even transcripts from YouTube videos. And when Notebook LM answers your questions, the answers are grounded.
Grounded. Okay, define that for us simply.
Grounded just means its answers are strictly based on and sourced from the specific documents you uploaded. Nothing else. In fact, it usually highlights the exact passage in your source material that supports its claim, which makes the responses incredibly reliable. Great for serious research, whether it's academic or for business strategy. And the privacy angle here is really important too. Notebook LM acts like a private sandbox for your information. So if you're working on, say, a confidential new product idea or analyzing sensitive competitor data, you can upload those proprietary documents and ask questions about them without worrying that your data is going to be used to train some public AI model.
That sounds fantastic, but, people are always concerned about privacy with these tools. If I'm uploading really sensitive stuff, business plans, unpublished research, how confident can I actually be that it stays private?
Yeah, that's a fair question. The confidence level should be pretty high because Google explicitly positions this tool as a private workspace. Their documentation states that your uploaded documents remain private to you. They are not used for ad personalization, and crucially, not used to train the public versions of Gemini. It really is designed to be a secure sandbox for your sensitive thinking and analysis. And then you can layer on Gemini Live. This is where things get really interactive. It basically turns the chatbot experience into a multimodal assistant. If you give it permission, it can access your screen. It can hear your voice through the mic, see through your webcam. It makes the whole conversation fully contextual. It knows what you're looking at and talking about.
Right, and the example you shared about the AI design coach was pretty compelling. Can you walk us through that? Someone was working on a YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah, exactly. A creator shared their screen showing a thumbnail they'd designed, and they just asked Gemini Live, how can I make this better, get more clicks? And because Gemini Live could see the thumbnail, it analyzed the composition right there in real time. It suggested things like increasing the color contrast. Why? For better visibility on small mobile screens. Makes sense. It even suggested shifting where the text was placed so the viewer's eye would catch the main question first. That's not just generic advice. That's specific, actionable feedback happening instantly.
Exactly. It's that real-time loop that's powerful. Okay, looking ahead slightly. Gemini 2.5 computer. This isn't fully rolled out everywhere yet, but the vision is. Well, it's true delegation. We're talking about AI that can actually operate your computer for you. Browse websites, click buttons, fill out forms. So moving beyond just summarizing information or generating content, the AI could actually do complex tasks, multi-step things. Like what kind of future automation are we envisioning here?
Think about comparative research. Instead of you manually going to 10 competitor websites, copying pricing data, putting it in a spreadsheet, you could potentially ask the AI, go to these 10 sites, gather all their current pricing tiers for product X, and create a comparison table for me, highlighting the key differences. That level of automation, data gathering, complex form filling, system interactions, that's the direction. And we shouldn't forget the free voice generator either. This thing is surprisingly good. It really does rival some of those platforms that charge, $20, $30, even $50 a month. You can configure the voice dial, conversational, authoritative, whatever you need. Pick an accent, adjust the pace. And crucially, it handles long-form content pretty well. It can generate up to about 8 minutes of audio from 10,000 characters of text in one go.
That really is a game changer, especially for creators on a budget. people needing professional-sounding narration for YouTube videos, or maybe creating e-learning modules at scale without hiring voice actors for every single
For
piece.
sure. Which brings us neatly to the strategic part. Because just having these tools isn't enough, right? You need to use them smartly. We've distilled it down to about 6 key rules for really maximizing the value you get from these free Google tools. And the first one is maybe the most important. Focus on workflows, not just individual tools. See, a single tool solves a single problem, like generating an image. But a workflow solves a bottleneck in your whole process.
Okay, workflow over tools. Makes sense. What's rule number 2?
Rule 2 is build reusable systems and templates. Don't just do one-off tasks. Invest a little time up front to create, say, a specialized Gemini gem for generating your social media posts. Train it on your brand voice, your preferred post structure, the kind of questions you like to ask. Then reuse that gem over and over. Efficiency.
I like that. Build once, use many times. What's next?
Rule 3 is about cross-tool synergy. This is where it gets really powerful. Don't use these tools in isolation. Think about it. Take the detailed, super reliable research you gathered using notebook.LM and feed that specific information directly into your specialized Gemini gem when you ask it to write something. You're combining the grounded accuracy of notebook.LM with the stylistic consistency of gems. That's stacking the Lego blocks, you see.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Connecting the data flow between the tools. Got it. Rule 4.
Rule 4, embrace real-time iteration. This ties back to Gemini Live. Use that capability for instant feedback. Get the AI's suggestion on your design, apply the change immediately, maybe run it by the AI again. It dramatically speeds up that quality control and refinement process. Don't wait. Iterate fast.
Makes sense. Get feedback, tweak, repeat. What's rule 5?
Rule 5 is batch processing. This is a practical one. Remember, these are free tools. They will likely have usage limits, daily quotas, things like that. So if you know you need, say, 50 slightly different product images for your website, or maybe 10 minutes of voice narration for a video, don't do them one by one over several days. Plan ahead. Generate them all in one dedicated session. Chunking your tasks like this helps you avoid hitting those frustrating rate limits right when you're facing a deadline.
That's a really practical tip, batching work. But speaking of limits, what are the realistic constraints we should be aware of? Are the rate limits restrictive?
That leads directly into Rule 6. Know and optimize your rate limits. You absolutely need to understand what the daily or hourly boundaries are for each tool. If, for example, the free Gemini image tool allows you 50 generations per day, don't waste 10 of those just experimenting randomly to find a new visual style you might like. Instead, use a gem you've already refined, Rule 2. Batch process the 40 final images you actually need, Rule 5, and save the open-ended experimentation for another day when you have quota to spare. Be strategic about it.
So just to reiterate that first point, because it seems foundational, why is it so important for users to prioritize building workflows rather than just collecting a bunch of different tools?
Because workflows solve the real problems, the bottlenecks in getting things done efficiently and consistently. Individual tools are just components. A good workflow connects them into a system that actually multiplies their value. It's about the whole system, not just the parts. Mid-roll sponsor read.
Okay, we've covered the core free tools and how to use them strategically, but we should also touch on the wider Google ecosystem here. There's Google Labs, right? What's that about?
Yeah, Google Labs is essentially their experimental playground. It's where they put out early-stage projects for public testing and feedback. It's kind of like getting a peek inside their R&D workshop. You can often find really interesting things there. For instance, you might get early access to tools like MusicFX, which generates instrumental music tracks based on prompts. Or sometimes they release early versions of more advanced capabilities, like their video generation model, VO, for people to try out. It's the bleeding edge.
And thinking about all these tools connecting, notebook.LM feeding gems, Gemini Live providing feedback, the scale is just, whoa. I mean, imagine scaling workflows built on these principles to handle, I don't know, 1 billion queries or tasks. The potential efficiency is kind of staggering.
It really is. Which brings us back to that fundamental question, why? Why is Google giving away tools that are clearly powerful and frankly must be expensive to develop and run? It's definitely not charity, right? It's smart business strategy.
Yeah.
And it seems to rest on about 3 main pillars.
Okay, let's hear them. What's pillar number 1? Ecosystem lock-in. It's a classic strategy. If you build your entire creative or business workflow around Google's free tools, if all your research data is in Notebook LM, your custom agents are built as gems, your visuals come from Gemini Image, the cost and hassle of switching to a competitor later on, like Microsoft's Copilot or tools from Anthropic or OpenAI, becomes really high. It creates a powerful moat. You're just less likely to leave the ecosystem you're already deeply integrated into.
Makes perfect sense. Pillar number 2, data and improvement. Even if the data is aggregated and anonymized, every interaction you have with these free tools provides Google with valuable real-world usage data. They see which prompts work well, which types of tasks users struggle with, where the tools fail or cause frustration. It's essentially free research and development for them. It helps them understand user behavior at scale and rapidly improve their underlying AI models.
Okay, lock in. Free R&D. What's the third pillar?
It's the gateway to paid services, the classic freemium model. By offering compelling free tools for individuals and small teams, Google builds familiarity, trust, and dependence on their ecosystem. Then, when your business grows or you need more advanced enterprise features, maybe higher usage limits, enhanced security, dedicated support, or access to their high-powered Google Cloud AI services, you're naturally going to gravitate toward the paid offerings within the Google ecosystem you already know and use. It converts free users into high-margin enterprise customers down the line. Now, a crucial warning for everyone listening who's getting excited about this. While these tools are free now, it's wise to assume that this level of unrestricted free access might be temporary, or at least that certain features will evolve. We should probably expect stricter usage limits over time, or perhaps see the most advanced capabilities migrating into paid tiers eventually. So the message is, use this free access now. Build your skills, develop your workflows, gain that institutional knowledge while the gates are wide open.
So, boiling it down, if these tools are genuinely so good and powerful, what's the single biggest business reason Google is just giving them away right now?
I'd say it's primarily to establish and solidify that ecosystem lock-in, to build a strong, defensible moat against their major competitors like Microsoft and OpenAI, ensuring users build their AI habits within Google's world. Okay, so let's wrap things up. The big idea here is that these free Google AI tools represent a genuinely powerful new productivity arsenal for you. But remember, they're designed to augment your intelligence and creativity, not replace it entirely. The real magic happens when you combine them strategically, like we discussed, using Notebook LM for deep, grounded research, and then feeding those specific insights into a custom Gemini gem to generate content that's both accurate and perfectly on brand. That's the synergy. And one final, really important security reminder, please always use the official Google platforms for these tools. Go directly to astudio.google.com for the image and gem tools, or notebooklm.google.com for the research assistant. We're already seeing scams pop up online, websites charging people for special access, or premium versions of tools that Google is actually providing for free. Don't fall for those. Stick to the official sources.
Well said. So, the age of truly accessible, powerful AI is definitely here. And right now, a significant part of it is free. Your mission, should you choose to accept it this week? Pick just one of the tools we talked about today, maybe Gemini Image or Gems or Notebook LM, and dedicate just 15 minutes. That's it. 15 minutes to exploring and maybe mastering one specific feature or strategic nuance we discussed, like creating your first knowledge field in a gem or trying the outpainting feature. Just take one small step. And finally, here's something to chew on after you're done listening. If powerful free AI like this becomes the sort of default plumbing underlying almost all digital products and creative workflows, what fundamental human skill do you think suddenly becomes the most valuable bottleneck? What human ability becomes the premium beat? Something to think about.